Hello friends, Eddie here. This is a idea I have to solve the problems of the workforce and pay and whatnot, so to be fair to everybody. Instead of the case where you have so-called directors getting great big bonuses when the company's losing money, this is ridiculous. And also, they should think of the fact that every member of the staff contributes to the success of a company, not just the directors and managers, etc. They may tell people what to do, but it's the people below that do it. Now, this is my simple idea, and it gives real incentive to everybody to work well. First of all, everybody from the chairman of the board down to the floor sweeper or whatever gets the minimum wage, the minimum living wage, not the when it comes out, about £9 a week, an hour. And on top of that, everybody gets a percentage of the profits of the company from the shareholders, managing directors, down once again to the floor sweeper, or whoever happens to be the lowest, the person that brings the tea round or whatever. Now, this means that everybody be on the minimum wage, and unless the firm makes money, which means the floor sweeper will be getting the same money as the chairman of the board. Mind, he'll have other money coming from other places anyway, so it won't bother him much. But it will give him and all the rest of the company an incentive to make a profit for the company, instead of these banks that lose money and then we have to bail them out with our taxpayers' money. Now, you may say, oh, well, I'm on benefits, I don't pay taxes. Rubbish. You see me smoking these cigarettes. How much do you think that goes in tax? In fact, that's one of the reasons the country's in a mess, because they stopped everybody smoking, saying it was costing the National Health Service a fortune, and of course they no longer have the duty, the VAT and the tobacco tax coming in, so obviously their income is down. So there you are, that's the way it goes. And I can't work all this out. Obviously I live in a mobile home, and you'd be amazed at how I manage. Incidentally, my entire web is selfies. This is a selfie. I got a selfie on the web that I did in 1993, before the web started. I invented a 3D system, and in 1993. And you can see the film is even made as a 3D film, called Elvis, which is me playing the part of Elvis. And you may even be interested to know how the titles of that were done. But that was me using my electronic brain. It's actually done with feedback with the camera. You point the camera at the screen and you get a feedback, so that anyway, that's the way it works. And I hope somebody will take note of this idea that of running the country, because what has happened is there's no incentive. Why should anybody have an incentive to work well for a company if they're going to get a flipping great big bonus, even if the company makes a loss? Oh, and there's one other thing about companies. The pension fund should be independent from the company. It should be put into some sort of bonded scheme whereby they cannot touch it, because that's one of the ways that they're actually getting where would the company get the money to pay these bonuses otherwise? In other words, they're sort of stealing from themselves, or stealing from the workers, really. But I am not in a position to get anybody to do anything. But I do know, I'm not daft, there are things that I've put on this web, and only a very few people have watched them. But there's been one person that's seen them, and especially about the one about cancer and AIDS. If you see that one of mine, I'll tell you. I actually tell you how to cure it. And I think that was in 2012. And I just heard recently they've come up with my answer. I said all you needed was something to boost the immune system. In fact, 90% of complaints with the medical profession could be cured simply by having 2 pills, one for dampening the immune system with the condition I got, and the other for improving it. And if they can come up with those, of course most of the doctors would be out of work. They only have 2 pills to prescribe. Anyway, that's it. If somebody who's in politics, who has a say in politics, sees this, talk to somebody. Jeremy, or even now a distant member of our family, Mr. Owen Smith. My name, Smith. I got the worst name you could possibly have, Edward Smith, because that was the name of the captain of the Titanic. And in the Merchant Navy I got teased rotten about it. But funny enough, I was no Jonah. Nothing ever happened to the ship when I was on it. It always happened after I'd left. One of the ships I was on, the next trip, went aground. Anyway, in fact, I was on the wheel of a ship. The officer of the watch was asleep, and there was a great fishing fleet fishing dead ahead of us, and we were going straight for it. And the bell was being rung by the watchman to warn about it. Nothing happened. Nobody came and told me anything to do. Me, I'm not an idiot like some people would just ignore it. I spun the wheel hard to starboard and veered away from them. Of course, you know what happened then, don't you? The person on the watch that was asleep fell off his stool, came rushing out to lay into me about it. Apparently, the skipper fell out of bed as well, because when you do that, the ship lists about 45 degrees. And I just pointed to all these fishing boats that were going past us that we just missed. Because I left it to the very last moment. And the last moment on these big tankers is, you know, quite a distance, because it takes a while before they actually start to turn. People don't realise it, but ships don't turn, the front bow doesn't swing round, the stern swings the opposite way. So if you swing the stern to starboard, the ship goes to port, and vice versa. Yeah, I'm doing Latin as well, aren't I? A lot of people don't know that in electronics, the amount of intelligence and knowledge that you need, you won't believe it. You need physics, chemistry, biology, Latin and Greek, and probably a few others. Oh, and trigonometry. Anyway, there you are. I hope somebody sees this video and actually does something about it, because you never know, it might work. I'm sure a lot of the workers would be pleased to know that they've guaranteed the minimum living wage, and if they work hard, they get extra. They'll work hard. I know that for a fact because I've worked on piecework in forestry. When I was at school, I used to work picking potatoes, and we got 25p a hundredweight. Every hundredweight we picked, we got 25p. Now that was a lot of money in those days, and I managed to earn enough to buy a rally bicycle, three-speed bicycle. In those days, that was the top range. £15 they cost, and I was able to make enough to do that, simply because of the incentive of wanting the bike and having the time to make the money by working hard. I don't see why. And there are some things obviously cannot be done that way. But I always think that success should be rewarded to everybody that deserves it. I keep getting this Windows Live Messenger come up on the screen. I hope it's not going on the video. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to finish now. Goodbye all, and thank you for viewing all my stuff. Mind you, I've just been trying to view it myself because my hearing is starting to improve. And I got so much on there, it's probably why nobody seems to be able to find anything. I think it's nearly 400 videos on there now. Some of them hardly been seen at all, some of them have been seen a lot. I passed the 500,000 mark anyway. Yeah, goodbye to you all, and thank you for watching.